Every year at this time, Toronto launches its International Film Festival, and it is the films which define the event.
In my career, I've never asked for special treatment. I'm only asking for equality.
This year, the lesbian love story and drama Freeheld, starring Julianne Moore and Ellen Page, has a prestigious slot. Also in the lineup, The Danish Girl with Eddie Redmayne as a transgender woman. The prevalence of high-profile lesbian, gay and transgender characters in several big festival films is viewed as significant by Sarah Kate Ellis at the LGBT media advocacy group GLAAD.
As acceptance in the country moves forward for LGBT people, we're seeing more and more our stories told on the big screen.
Those who've made some of these films, like Stephen Dunn, happily see them as being included on the basis of their artistry, not because the festival is trying to fill some LGBT quota.
I think the presence there says nothing about, having a mandate of, I have to have my film festival program a certain amount of LGBT films. It's about the fact that these films are good and they're worthy of audiences.
Toronto has grown to become one of the biggest film extravaganzas of the year, which many rank second only to Cannes in terms of stature. Some 290 full-length feature films will be shown over the course of the next 11 days in this Canadian lakeside city. And it's very international. Some 5,000 films were submitted from outside Canada. And this year is special because 2015 marks the 40th anniversary of the Toronto Film Festival. How proud are you of its accomplishments over the last 40 years?
Yeah, extremely proud. I mean, you had no real idea even when I started. It's just nice to be considered one of the must-attend festivals in the world, and I think now, of course, we've arrived at that position. So, yeah, it gives me huge satisfaction.
How could Congress pass this Patriot Act without even reading it?
Fahrenheit 9/11, Michael Moore's searing 2004 critique of President Bush and the war in Iraq brought him scorn and accolades. This firebrand filmmaker is back in Toronto with the provocatively titled Where to Invade Next, his first film in 6 years.
Moore, in fact, made it sort of in secret. He filmed it in Europe to avoid the scrutiny of the press, and it was kind of a last-minute addition to the Toronto Film Festival's schedule. So I think fans of his will, I'm sure, be satisfied by it, as they always are, but the content of the film itself is really an unknown at this point.
No studio will ever employ a member of the Communist Party.
Michael Moore's documentary is one of many political films at the festival. Another is Trumbo, which tells the story of blacklisted Hollywood screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, played by Bryan Cranston.
You said to me, this is a family secret, and you gave it up to me, boom.
Biographical films are also prominent this year, with Black Mass portraying the story of Massachusetts mobster James Whitey Bulger, played by Johnny Depp. And then there's The Program, the eagerly awaited biography of disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong.
I have never tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs.
Toronto is truly multicultural, as is its film festival. Case in point, the film Through You, Princess. It chronicles the adventures of a New Orleans caregiver to the elderly who sings into her phone and posts the results on YouTube. Unbeknownst to her, an Israeli musician thousands of miles away adds in orchestrations and creates a highly produced rendering of her efforts that's then disseminated online, much to the delight of everyone involved. It's a small film, but a strong Toronto offering, creating impassioned chatter among those who've seen it in advance.